Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to look at something that is honestly pretty mind-bending. What if I told you that a 25-year-old investing just $50 a month could actually end up with more money at retirement than a 45-year-old dropping $500 a month? I know, no way, right? You hear those numbers and immediately think the math has got to be broken. But it isn't. It's completely true, and it all boils down to one simple, insanely powerful concept that most people just don't get until it's way too late. So get ready, because we're going to break down exactly how small money completely crushes big money. So let me just throw this riddle at you right out of the gate. Can $50 really beat $500? Think about it. So many of us look at our paychecks and think, man, I just don't have enough cash to make a real difference right now. Or we tell ourselves, you know what, I'll start seriously investing once I get that promotion, or when I'm pulling in a bigger salary. It feels totally logical, right? Why even bother with $50? Well, I'm here to tell you that this exact mindset might be the single most expensive financial mistake you will ever make. And it isn't because of the dollar amount. It's because of what you are losing while you wait. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got person A starting at age 25 with just $50 a month. Then we have person B starting at age 45, throwing down $500 a month. That is 10 times the cash. If you're delaying your investments because you feel like person A, and you're just waiting until you finally have person B's income, you are literally bleeding wealth. Why? Because the absolutely crucial ingredient in building wealth isn't the giant stack of cash you start with. It's time. If you've ever felt like investing just isn't worth it yet because your income is a little on the smaller side, this explainer is going to completely rewire how you view your money. To understand exactly how person A crushes person B in the long run, we really need to unlock the engine behind this whole phenomenon. Section 1. Unlocking the growth engine. What is compounding? Let's break this down in the simplest way possible. Compounding is basically what happens when the growth your money earns starts generating its own growth. Instead of your wealth growing in a boring, flat, straight line, it starts curving upwards, getting steeper and steeper over time. Think of it like planting a tree. In year 1, it's just a tiny little sapling. It grows a bit. But by year 10, that tree isn't just taller. It has branches. And here's the real kicker. Those branches eventually grow their own branches. When you invest properly, your money does the exact same thing. The returns you earn don't just sit in a vault somewhere, they get reinvested. And then, those reinvested returns start earning their own returns. It is relentless, unstoppable growth on top of growth. Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is how we apply it to Islamic finance. If you're a Muslim investor, you might be looking at this and thinking, hold on, isn't compounding just interest? Well, in conventional finance, yeah, it's often explained using compound interest, where a bank pays you interest on your interest. But interest, or riba, is strictly prohibited in Islam. So how on earth do you get this financial superpower? Halal investments. Things like Shariah-compliant stock funds experience this exact same growth-on-growth effect, but they do it through legitimate business profit and asset appreciation. When a halal fund earns a profit, and that profit is reinvested into more shares of real productive businesses, your money is compounding the halal way. You're getting there through actual ownership and real economic activity, not by lending money at prohibited interest. The point is, you don't have to give up this wealth-building engine. You just need the right vehicle. Section 2. Time over money. Why starting early wins. The primary fuel for that growth engine? It's the clock. You'll hear financial advisors repeat this phrase until they're literally blue in the face. And for very good reason. Time in the market beats timing the market. Hear this loud and clear, guys. It is not about trying to magically guess the perfect Tuesday to drop a massive lump sum of cash into a fund. It's about giving smaller, consistent amounts as many years as humanly possible to grow. Remember our two investors? Person B is dropping 10 times the money, but person A has an extra 20 years. That extra 2 decades allows the money to go through multiple back-to-back cycles of that growth-on-growth we just talked about. It's not magic. It is pure, undisputed math. Let's isolate that $50 a month for a second. $50? What is that? A couple of takeout meals? Maybe a random streaming subscription you totally forgot to cancel? It feels completely insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But when you give that $50 a month 20 years to just run wild, compounding through halal, Shariah-compliant growth, it physically transforms. It goes from insignificant spare change to a genuinely solid financial foundation. That is the ultimate superpower of time. It takes the heavy lifting off your wallet and puts it squarely onto the calendar. But look, as amazing as this growth is, we need to have a serious conversation. We got to lower the lights a bit and talk about the actual villain in this story. Section 3. The silent threat. Inflation versus compounding. While compounding is working tirelessly in your favor, inflation is quietly working against you. 24/7. Inflation is just the gradual rise in prices over time. It means the exact same dollar bill in your pocket today buys a little less this year than it did last year, and it's going to buy even less next year. If your money isn't growing at a pace that outruns this inflation rate, you are technically losing purchasing power. Even if you log into your bank app and the balance looks exactly the same, or maybe goes up a tiny bit, the actual value, what that money can physically buy in the real world, is shrinking. So the crucial point is this: if you are just hoarding cash under your mattress or leaving it sitting in a zero-growth checking account, you are practically guaranteeing a loss to inflation. It's like a slow leak in your financial tire. You desperately need your money's growth rate to outpace inflation's erosion rate. That means compounding isn't just some fun bonus for the wealthy. It is a mandatory survival tool for everyone. It's very often the deciding factor between living with constant financial stress in your later years or enjoying total financial comfort. Disciplined, long-term halal investing is explicitly designed to outpace this silent threat. All right, let's inject some momentum back into this and put all this theory to the test with a real-world case study. Section 4, the ultimate race, Sarah versus her cousin. Picture Sarah. She is a Pakistani-American living in the US. At age 24, she decides to just go for it and take action. She starts putting exactly $100 a month into a Shariah-compliant investment fund. She doesn't stress about it. She doesn't aggressively try to increase the amount. She doesn't obsessively check her portfolio every single morning. She just sets it up, automates it, and lets it run consistently in the background of her busy life. 30 years! Let that number actually sink in for a second. 30 uninterrupted years. That is 3 whole decades of her money acting like that tree we talked about, growing branches, and those branches growing their own branches. Because she started at 24, she secured the ultimate asset: uninterrupted time for her money to compound. Over those 30 years, out of her own pocket, Sarah only contributes $36,000. That's her total personal contribution, the whole shebang. But here is the incredible part. Assuming a modest, historically reasonable average annual growth rate for a diversified halal equity fund, and obviously, look, markets fluctuate, there are absolutely no guarantees, but historically speaking, by the time she's 54, the actual value of her investment could realistically be several times more than that initial 36 grand. Why? Simply because decades of reinvested growth did the heavy lifting for her. And this brilliantly illustrates the true cost of waiting. Look at her cousin. He waits until age 40 to start taking investing seriously, and he starts putting in the exact same $100 a month. But look at the math. Even though he has the exact same monthly discipline, he only gets 14 years of compounding before he reaches 54, compared to Sarah's 30 years. The difference in their final portfolio values is going to be staggering, and it is a massive loss for him purely due to lost time. It has absolutely nothing to do with who is smarter, it's just the raw mathematical power of starting early. So how do we make sure you are Sarah and not the cousin? Let's move to our actionable game plan to start winning today. Section 5, the playbook, your action plan. Here is your 4-step playbook. Step 1, start small. Do not wait for a massive windfall. Begin with whatever you can comfortably afford right now. Step 2, automate it. Set up those monthly contributions so your consistency doesn't rely on your willpower, because willpower fades. Step 3, do not withdraw. Remember the tree? Don't chop off the branches. Compounding needs uninterrupted time to do its job. And step 4, do your research. Look into Shariah-compliant index funds or platforms available in your region so you can guarantee your money is growing the halal way from day one. If this explainer helped you realize exactly why starting early is your ultimate superpower, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. You for sure do not want to miss our next analysis, where we're going head-to-head comparing stocks versus real estate versus gold to help you figure out exactly where your money might grow best. But before you go, I want to hear from you. At what age did you start investing? Or if you haven't yet, when are you realistically planning to start? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next explainer.